So you can have olives that are in brine, like this. You can have oil-cured olives. Either one will work. But the point is that in Ascoli Piceno, where this recipe comes from, these stuffed olives, the olive all'ascolana, this is a street food that is very particular to this particular area. So much so that this is a DOP product, meaning that the olives have to come from a specific region and have to be used in a certain way. So let me show you how you do it. So you have to start with making a meat mixture first because the olives are going to be stuffed with meat. So to do that, you want to get some vegetables ready. So here we have a carrot, we've got celery, and we've got onions. So I'm just going to coarsely chop those up and mince it. You really want to fine mince on this because we have to stuff tiny olives. So there is our mixture. So now what we need to do is get some meat ready. So here we have traditionally 3 kinds of meat used in this recipe. So we have ground chicken, we have ground pork, and we have ground beef. We're going to cook all of this mixture together. We've got the onion and the carrot and the celery that goes in. We add the chicken. That was 1/4 pound. The beef, another 1/4 pound. Turn the heat up a little bit. And the pork. So that nice combination of meats is going to give us really nice flavor. And this is something that, as I say, is a street food. You would eat this, you know, as you're walking along the street. It's kind of, I don't want to call it fast food because that would not be right, but a street food that's a very old type of kind of antipasto that you would have, where you were just eating these beautiful breaded, crunchy olives out on the street while you see your friends. So we want to let this meat really get nicely browned, because then we have to get it into a very fine consistency. When the meat is nicely browned, then you can add the wine. And for this, we're adding a white wine. So any white wine that you really like to drink is perfectly fine. So we want about 1/2 cup of white wine, and we want to allow most of that to kind of evaporate. So I'm going to eyeball it. That's about 1/2 cup rather, of wine, and we want to let that really cook down so that the meat is looking fairly dry. All right, here is our meat mixture. It's all cooked. Most of the wine has been absorbed. It really smells great. So now what we need to do is get this as fine as we can get it. Now you could either do this by putting if you have a meat grinder, that's fine, or you can just do it in a food processor. Okay, I'm going to wipe down the side of the bowl a little bit, make sure that I didn't leave anything behind, and just do that one more time. So this may take a couple, pulses, 3 or 4. All right, so we have this. We're going to give this a grinding of black pepper, some salt to taste, a piacere. We're going to give it a grinding of nutmeg. Yes, a little nutmeg goes in as much as you like, and some ground cloves, just a smidge, about that much. That goes in. So you can see now that the flavor is really going to develop. And then we want the zest of 1 lemon. And then we want to mix that a little bit. You see how fine this is looking now. So I'm going to give this a nice grating of Parmigiano Reggiano. Now this is starting to really sing, folks. Okay, I would say about 1/4 cup. So mix that in. And now we need an egg. Add that. All right, so a little bit of breadcrumbs to bind that all. And when I use breadcrumbs, I just take stale bread that I have at home, dry it out, let it go through the food processor, and then I have breadcrumbs for whenever I need them, because breadcrumbs in a box from a store just isn't going to do it. You make a little slit. Nobody in Molise is going to know this. So you make a little slit in the olive like that. See, you have a little slit. And then you get a bunch of your friends together and you roll this meat into a little ball like that. And you take your little olive and you stuff the meat in there. See, stuff it in there and close it up. You got to be delicate with this. I've been here for 2 hours and I finally got the olives all stuffed, so they're nice and compact. Now what we need to do is flour them, egg them, breadcrumb them, and fry them. So you want to take them a few at a time, put them in the flour, and just toss them. Toss them well. Then you have some beaten egg. And you want to take those a few at a time, shake off any excess, put them in the egg. And then we're going to put them in this breadcrumb mix. These are my own breadcrumbs. If you want to add a little panko to them, you can. Here's some grated Parmigiano Reggiano that we're going to add to mix in with the breadcrumbs, just to give it more flavor. And then let the excess egg drip off and put them into the breadcrumbs and really, really coat them well. You want them well coated so that they're going to have a nice crust. So put in a few at a time. Make sure that you have enough oil. You want to make sure that you have enough oil to cover the olives.